some tubular merch in this day and age? Have I ever? Well, then I have the best product. Cut. What's my motivation, mate? Hey, man. Yo, sup, dog? I'm just chilling here making this new tubular commercial thanks to my homeboy's inspiration he gave me. I mean, I gotta give props to my dude here. This tubular bomb showed me that even after large amounts of failure, you can still come back and be radical. Oh, I'm wanting to get rich off the 90s. We're gonna line up the most tubular merch for that 90s crowd out there. We're gonna have plaid shirts, denim jeans, both in 2 variations of overalls and in 1 size too small for me. Sweaters with 5 sizes too big, and sunglasses. Mountains upon mountains of sunglasses. We'll definitely be taking out another loan. You know, it's rude to ask your owner these personal questions. Aw yeah, Sonic is so dope. Back in the day, the lame Mario had taken the video game world by the white glove, but Sega decided to step up with their own mascot to rival him. Sonic was the opposite of Mario, that being super cool and pimpin'. This ain't a phase home slice! Sonic was on top of the video game world. God, it hurts to talk. But after several failed attempts in the hardware industry, Sega decided to become just a developer and a publisher. This started out pretty good, but then it led to some blunders, and then some more blunders, and then another blunder, and then yet another blunder. Yeah, there was definitely a point where Sonic should have taken some advice from the shoe industry. Shoes are so great, I love these things, but they've done the same thing for 40,000 years. Sometimes they get a bit smelly, but you can clean them. And they know what they're doing because they've been doing it well, and they don't try to be God of War, Mario Galaxy, or being a step up from Paper Mario Sticker Star. You too? Sega needed Sonic to get back on his feet instead of frothing about on whatever Sonic 06 and Unleashed was. So of course, the most logical thing to do was to look at an old rival for advice. During the 7th generation of inferior PCs, Sega had gotten quite buddy-buddy with Nintendo and realized that they had a huge marketing opportunity right in front of them. Sega noticed the popularity of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games and wanted to put their new Sonic game on the Nintendo Wii and DS exclusively to give it access to all the new gamers that use the white motion box. However, Sega knew they couldn't bank on just the new gamers and decided to swallow their pride and listen to their fans. This is the only time Sega will ever do this. See, Sonic Unleashed was regarded just fine by the fans, mostly because they liked the day segments of the game but thought the night segments were long and too busy ripping off God of War. So Sega decided to throw out the gimmick of the Werehog for the gimmick of a solid Sonic game, and shocker, it sold like crazy. You know what? You're right. Yeah! Lack of effort, mismanaging, and poor marketing is clearly the way to go. Sega obviously learned from their mistakes and got rid of the bad habits like over-complex stories and tons of side characters that no one cared about. Sonic Colors takes a step back with its story and shoots for the less is more approach. Sonic Colors begins with Sonic and Tails traveling to Eggman's Interstellar Amusement Park, which supposedly
been constructed entirely out of a sense of remorse for my past transgressions, and is in no way associated with any sort of evil plot or premeditated misdeeds.
Ha! Sonic and Tails discover that Dr. Eggman is using the park as a front for harnessing the power of a new alien species called Wisps. Our heroes learn from a wisp named Yacker that Eggman plans to harness this power to control everyone's mind, and Sonic must destroy 6 generators to liberate the captive Wisps. Sonic destroys the generators, but Eggman attempts to activate his secret cannon that is built into the center of the park. But due to a stray piece of a robot from a previous fight, the cannon backfires. Sonic and Tails try to return home, but Eggman intercepts them with one of the coolest robots in a Sonic game. Sonic blasts Eggman into the next solar system, and the Wisps save Sonic from the impending explosion. Yacker thanks Sonic for saving him and his fellow Wisps, and we end with Eggman and his henchmen stranded in space, once again defeated.
Yeah, the story's not as pimpin' as, say, previous Sonic games, but in this case, less is definitely more.
This definitely panders to the younger audience, but I still had fun with it. Some of the jokes made me even chuckle in a sort of dad joke kind of way.
I know you're trying to be clever with this whole amusement park pun thing, but it's just coming off lame. Just say you're going to destroy us and stop embarrassing yourself.
The characters were safely likable, but that's about it. Sonic sounds like what a kid from the 2010s would dream a cool person from the 90s sounds like, and Tails' voice didn't make me want to slam my head into the TV again, which is always a plus. I have to say, this game looks pretty good for a Wii title. Having the setting be in a multi-planet amusement park allowed the devs to take full advantage of the creative possibilities associated with that idea. Having a roller coaster that traverses an asteroid field, or a carnival where the parade is a brightly lit starship armada, are just a few ideas Sonic Team came up with. Each area has a unique experience, and I thoroughly enjoyed each one.
Am I gonna be rich soon off 90s merchandise? You know, I could just stop fucking feeding you.
The gameplay is everything that was great in Sonic Unleashed, mixed with some of the classic platforming from the Genesis days. You run, jump, and dodge obstacles going to super fast speeds to get to the end goal ring where you are scored based upon how you did. In the 3D sections, Sonic has a boost bar that fills up when you free the Wisps from their capsules. This boost bar is brought right over from Unleashed, but that game used rings to fill up that meter. There was a ton of rings in that game, and that's saying something for a Sonic game. Moving it over to these capsules is much better, as at times it requires you to save your boost for later moments in the level. Unleashed, I could just hold the button down and that would be the extent of that gameplay. Sonic Unleashed was also primarily 3D with a few 2D sections sprinkled in with the gameplay, whereas here, Sonic Colors breaks it up half and half. There is a solid mixture here that keeps the gameplay feeling fresh, but the 2D sections are vastly superior to their 3D counterparts. In the 2D sections, you have a lot more at your disposal for Sonic. Sonic can jump, dash, and get help from the Wisps, although the jump feels like total shit. It's just too floaty. It has this fast slow motion to it, and it takes a lot to get used to. The game gives you a double jump, which is more like a hop, and it sometimes can help. Other times you can just get screwed over this though, because it decides on the fly whether it wants to actually work or not. I originally thought it was the buzzkill of the Wii remote that I own, but I tried another one and it was still having consistent issues. Who knows, maybe I just need to trash both of these. The 2D sections require more from the player and are more interesting, but the pacing is killed so much when coming out of 3D that I was more focused on getting through it as quickly as possible rather than exploring. But then in the 2D sections, it hits you and you realize,
Oh shit, Sonic game!
The game introduces some radical new homies called Wisps. These 7 aliens can fuse with Sonic to give him unique power-ups like a drill, a laser, rocket, spike ball, cube, hovering bro, and
My brother Joel when he hasn't eaten in 3 hours.
These guys give a lot of variety to the gameplay and allow colors to stand out from other Sonic games. Most of these bring unique abilities, stuff that Sonic normally wouldn't have, like drilling in the ground. However, one thing though that does bother me about is that a third of them are just old power-ups Sonic has had in the past. The Spike Wisp gives you the ability to spin dash, and the Hover Wisp lets Sonic ring dash. Why not give Sonic these abilities from the start and give the Spike and Hover Wisp something new? I'm sure we could have gotten a bunch more levels with some really interesting designs from a simple change like that. Some of these wisps can kill some serious mojo when getting used to. Like, I never really understood how the laser wisp worked, but the more that I used them, the more I explored and found hidden paths that rewarded me with goodies or a faster path to get to my goal. I started out believing in that crazy wacky notion that getting to the goal as fast as possible was the best way for me to get that dope S rank. But the more I played, I discovered that the more I used power-ups and collected rings, the higher my score actually was. This is just what Sonic was back in the day, and it really feels good to return to it.
Yeah, my dude and dudettes, this game isn't super long, and that kinda sucks.
This game is only about 6 hours long, my homies. Sometimes less is more, but man, I'd be disappointed if I ended up paying a good piece of cheddar for this game. Sonic Colors gives you some more gameplay in terms of a bonus arena. These can only be unlocked if you find the special rings that are laid throughout the levels of the main story. This gives some replay value along with wanting to hit that S rank in each level, but playing the same levels over and over again is not real content for a game. Sure, it's fun for a little bit in a little cheeky sort of way, but you'll lose interest fast in having to play the levels over and over again, my homies. Unless you're one of those rad dudes who wants to 100% all of your games, I'd pass on these. These bonus levels are only 2D sections and super basic compared to the 2D sections of the main story. It's a bummer that they don't give any new 3D sections in these levels.
Home skillets, I would definitely check out the Tubular Sonic Colors, as it's the only 3D Sonic game that'd be pimpin' right now. I wouldn't recommend completing it, but the main playthrough is enough fun that I think you guys will be vibing. Also, buy my 90s merch. As my new 90s slogan says, the 90s didn't die. They fell asleep on the couch. Yo, chill out mid-slice and just enjoy some pimpin' 90s sunglasses.